What is what? Oh, it's just from the headphones. I think we're recording. Yep. Yeah, we are. We straight.
How can you tell?
I can't tell.
I see it moving. We good?
Okay.
Yeah. I already pressed the record button on the camera too. So.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I see your face.
I know he's like.
Well, cause see, I use Logic, so when it start moving, I'm looking for. There's the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. I was looking for the tail.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's the green neon line, my guy. The green neon line.
Yeah. On Logic, it's a red thing. But we back in this thing.
Si, senor.
Si, senor.
We got a Latino in here finally.
Si, senora.
Not finally.
No.
It's like finally brought on their fair-skinned friends. It's about time.
Fair skin. Dang.
Gotta expand our demographic, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
But we back. It's Unrehearsed. It's your boy Deshaun Forrest.
Oh my gosh! It's your girl Mariana Jack, aka Mo.
And your surprise audio engineer, Mafioso Beats.
Mafioso
What's
Beats.
up with Mafioso?
Or Mafi.
Or Mafi. You know what I'm
Or
saying?
Ma.
Ma. Hey, yo, Ma.
But we back, on today's episode. First off,
Talk about it.
My shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
It's become tradition.
Yeah.
Shout out Brandon.
Brandon.
Shout out to Brandon.
We love you. I brought tea for you.
Tea for you.
I was thinking about him.
Yeah.
Caffeine free.
Shout out Brandon. He's doing his thing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Mafi.
Woo woo.
Running audio.
Audio. Ma.
Shout out Chris. Editing this joint.
Thank you, Chris.
And shout out
What's
to
up, Ryan?
everyone. Different guy.
Different guy. My fault.
But shout out Ryan.
Shout out Ryan, Chris.
Shout out Ryan, Chris. You know what I'm saying? He's with us on the music side, and then shout out Chris, the editor.
The editor. My fault.
Unrehearsed.
My
No, it's
fault,
good.
editor.
It's
Yeah,
good.
my
We
fault.
gonna shout out the whole transparent team, bro. Transparency squad, bro. We really out here making.
I only know one Chris from this group, so that's why I said Ryan. My fault.
But yeah,
fault.
shout out the editor Chris. For those that don't know, Chris had edited all of season 1.
Yeah.
All of season 1.
Hey,
So,
bro. Editing skills on top, bro.
Yeah, we love him for sure. Today, we talking about rejection.
Rejection.
Okay.
Okay.
Dang, she really in her sang game, bro.
Go ahead, I'll
I
lead with it
I
again.
was like, dang.
Go ahead, bro. We love his energy,
Man,
we love it.
Mo says she's tired, but I don't think she really is tired. She really ain't.
She says she tired. Hey, man, I wonder how am I going to be when I sit out an episode? Am I going to come back strong like that?
Dang,
She killing
I
it.
don't know. Tired.
hey.
He might freestyle to open it up. The next one, he might freestyle.
That'd be it'd
This
be
is what we
unrehearsed.
been Unrehearsed.
It'd be unrehearsed. That's all I'm
Put
saying.
him off your beat real quick.
That's all I'm saying.
Put a Mafia beat.
Man, throwing some of them boom baps you be cooking up.
Oh, them boom baps.
Boom
Boom
baps.
baps lap.
Boom baps.
Or,
go
hey, or that
crazy.
Neptune beat.
Or them Neptune stuff. Shout out Pharrell.
Shout out
Dive into
Pharrell.
Pharrell.
Shout out to Pharrell and Chuck Hugo, because they really, what was it, from like late 90s to like early 2000s?
Mhm.
To like 2004 was
my
like
God.
right there. A lot of them.
It was them.
What's
it
up?
was EA.
Ricky's the one
For what?
for that episode about music that you wanted to do.
For like
Yeah,
history?
we're kind of like, nothing official, but we're kind of like
I just thought about it. I
game
was like,
planning a music episode, because that's one thing we haven't done.
Yeah.
Mo really wants me to do a music
I
episode because I'm
really
an artist.
look. Not
Wait,
even
wait, wait.
because
Wants
he's
me
an
to do.
artist. Not even because he's an artist. Fun fact. So Unrehearsed, in my mind, I was like, oh, like I literally had a whole different like idea about what it was gonna be about. I was like, oh, okay, so I get it. Like, you're an artist. I'm like, so we're gonna call it Unrehearsed, and then it's like we're gonna invite other artists on, and it's just gonna be like about right.
Yeah, to
It's like we're
perform.
gonna talk to
it
them,
up.
Yeah.
chop it up, and then at the end they're gonna freestyle. Hence Unrehearsed.
Yeah.
And then it was just like, took a whole different direction. Praise the Lord for
You
that.
know what,
Amen?
bro?
'Cause I
You can
wouldn't be
still
here
do
for it.
that, like the same formula, like right now,
Maybe just
and
a
then
different
towards
segment.
the end, like if you have an artist, like actually, like how like the Tonight shows, like have that towards the end of the show, they have the artist perform.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey.
That you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something to keep in. I'll keep that. In
Yeah,
mind. We can
yeah.
definitely do something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, Mo wanted this to be a music show.
Wait,
I
wait,
was like, we got to create something separate of it. Separate of the music.
Okay, so when you said music, I thought you meant like history of music, like maybe like certain time periods. Is that what you mean?
No, but I can see
Yeah,
the
like
benefit
we-
of everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just chopping
No
it up
limits.
as
Yeah.
artists.
Yeah.
But At some point, I'll get on it.
Because if you don't know, Deshaun likes to, when he listens to something, he likes to study. He likes to break it down.
Like he don't listen though. He study music.
He studies the production of
He eats it. He digests it.
Lyrics. I'll
all
listen
of
to
it.
a song and then follow it. Like follow the lyrics on. I'll have one screen of the song and then another screen of the lyrics. So it's like I'll probably listen to a song at a particular moment. Say I'll listen to it like 2 or 3 times.
Right.
One to kind of get the feel of it, to kind of vibe, see how it resonates with me, and then another one's like, okay, let me follow it lyrically. I look at ever since I started doing music, it went from being just to leisure listening to I look at it as like curriculum.
Right.
So nothing is off
Same.
nothing for me. Nothing. You go through my Spotify, you seeing a little bit of everything. You seeing rap in different eras.
Rap.
You're seeing different eras of R&B.
B.
You're seeing
Neo
Diana
soul.
Ross. You're seeing Temptations. You're seeing classical music. You're seeing Latin music. I'm talking about mariachi type stuff, bro.
Ooh.
Well, hold on.
said mariachi.
Wait, what you know about mariachi right there, dog?
It's little bit. It's something I want to. I made a little note on my board because you don't want to limit yourself. So like I made a little note on my board is just to like leave a note to like dive into it, to just explore. So I've like Rodrigo was here. I was asking him like, yo, send me some stuff, bro. Send me some good stuff, bro. And so I gotta, I have some stuff saved and I want to dive in on that and just dive in on some catalogs. But yeah, we'll definitely get on that one day. The music episode.
Mariachi. I did not expect that from you.
Bro, no one ever expects anything from me, dude.
Wow.
Like as far as that goes, like
Right.
music, like I got pop stuff.
He's just a mystery.
got-
Pop stuff.
Yeah, and that just not trying to turn this into a music episode.
Right, but just
It as a creative, it expands your mind.
It
Dude.
does.
It literally enlightens you. So now the stuff I make is different because I've expanded my horizon. Like, yo, there's different out there. There's different realms I haven't tapped into yet.
Yeah, don't be surprised
Bro,
if you start hearing some country. Just kidding. He's like,
There's
never
a couple
that.
of country stuff on there too.
I'm shocked.
I got to knock down some mental blocks with country because country doesn't have a good rep depending on where you at.
Like majority of people don't like country.
Yeah, so I gotta. But there's
it's such a different
occasional-
flavor, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but there's occasional really good country songs. Like
There is.
one person I like is Kane Brown.
Lights down
Kane
low.
Brown.
Kane Brown, yeah, and he's a black country guy. He's a black country artist.
I like Luke Bryan.
Lou Bryan is cool too.
Or what's his name? Oh, his face. He was on The Voice.
Uh,
What's his name? Blake Shelton.
Yes.
Blake
There we go.
Shelton.
I
Blake
was
Shelton.
like,
Yeah, he's cool.
Tim
I remember the first name.
McGraw. Tim McGraw.
Tim. I seen that name everywhere.
Yeah, that man's
Yeah.
famous.
So a little bit of everything. I'll definitely we gotta have a whole episode dedicated to that. But today we talking.
We ain't
Not to
talking
make it a
about-
music episode, but we
ain't talking about rejection.
rejection specifically. Rejection.
Mo,
won't
we gotta
kill
get
you.
Mo on the
We
track,
talking
bro.
about doors being slammed in your face. We're talking about a whole lot of no's.
Damn, bro. That current.
Now this was
Hold on.
another. What's that? You get? Oh. Yeah. Now this one was another brilliant, amazing idea of
Another one.
of the mighty Moster herself. Rejection won't kill you, but will it make you stronger?
What doesn't kill you makes you strong. I love it. I was like, what? Will it make you stronger? Actually, that's up to you whether it makes you stronger or not.
It is all in how you take it. That's really just life. I heard something along the lines of me and my paraphrasing because I can't ever remember anything verbatim.
It's okay. You're not a verbatimer. You're a paraphraser.
Pretty much. Like I get the gist of it and then I keep it going. But
Okay.
it's pretty much like 80% of life is how you respond. Not so much of what actually happens to you.
I would have to argue that. Like, I feel
Argue
that
that.
our, so, just kidding. No, I feel like response is part of it.
It's
but I
huge.
also
It's
feel
everything.
the other part is how you're taught to perceive that and receive that.
Oh, okay, so like it's it's your upbringing and how you're taught to respond and stuff like that.
Because if
yeah.
you're like, because if you grow up in a home and they teach you and they make it clear, like, you know what, you're gonna get a lot of no's in life, and that doesn't mean that reflects your value.
Right.
Like, it doesn't mean that reflects your value, but a lot of people are going to say no to you. A lot of people are going to shut the door in your face, but you just keep on going.
Yeah.
Keep knocking on doors, because someone's going to say yes. Someone's going to see what you see in yourself. Someone's going to see the potential, the value, all those things.
Yeah.
If I grew up learning that, I would be a whole different person right now. That's all that I'm saying. But no, it would have just shifted the way that, right, we keep forgetting that for me, but it would have just shifted the way that I receive rejection. Because now I'm like, I'm not even taking it personal.
Okay, now I got a real question, serious question that just dawned on me. Because you are a lady on the panel, and we was talking about it behind, when we was talking about just rejection, we was talking about it behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, we were.
We was talking it in a sense of relationships.
Yeah.
You know, guys mainly the ones that chase. So they are more conditioned to have to deal with rejection. Girls don't normally do that. Do you, all that to say, do you think that you probably didn't get that kind of teaching because you're a girl? In a way, not like, oh, she didn't get it because, like, not intentionally, but
I get
because
you.
think
It
about
was like subtle.
Think about it, like
that makes sense.
As a guy coming up, you know, I played football as a kid, so you know, basketball as a kid, and just other stuff. Like, it's normal for, you know, assuming they're in a decent, you know, environment and background and stuff like that, it's normal to get that tough love. Like, hey man, not everything gonna go your way. You can't get everything you want, yada yada yada. As a young boy, young man coming up, but you know, I got brothers. The only female in the house is my mom, so I can't even say I know anything just by witnessing. That's why I'm asking. Was that like? Do you think that might even just slightly play a part? Because people kind of soften up more with the ladies.
That's true. That is true. I would say that played a part. I've actually never thought about that. That thought has never crossed my mind. But that does play a big part, because I just feel like, in general, like, girls and women, like, we're taught, like, to be princesses, you know, and so I just feel like even the thought of, like, rejection isn't even on our conscience. Like, so when it happens, it's almost like a shock, because it's like, what is this feeling?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on?
No?
Yeah. And it's like crazy though,
I don't
because
like it.
I feel like a lot of people have a harder time coping with things in general when you don't have the right verbiage for it. Like, when you don't have the vocabulary for something that you're
To express
experiencing
it.
or you went through, like, you just kind of don't know what to do with it. And you're just like, dang, like, I don't know what this is. I don't like this feeling. But then it's like that moment when someone says it, you're like, it clicks, and you're like, that's exactly how I've been feeling. That's what that is. So that's just a whole side note. That's just a little bit of wisdom for you people. And so, but specifically for rejection, yeah, like, nobody, well, see, this is the thing, like, nobody, this is so sad, nobody specifically talked about rejection. Like, that wasn't a word that was used in our family, because usually, like, when women get rejected in my family, for most women, they're like, F that nigga, and, you know, like, I'm just being honest. It's like, he ain't like, you know, it's just like a lot of just stuff, and I'm like, okay. So I think it's just, like, easier to, like, reject them. Like, you know, after you get rejected as a woman, it's like, okay, like, reject them back. Like, you know, it's just kind of like,
don't reject me, I reject you.
right, literally. And so
it's very, very defensive.
yeah.
Very defensive.
And so yeah, so that's just like other women. But I was gonna say, like, specifically for myself, like, I felt rejection as a child, because, like, my dad was like, I just had a lot of abandonment issues, a lot of, like, negligence when it came to my dad. So I was feeling rejection, like, at the young age of 5.
Yeah, but that's a different kind of rejection, though.
Yeah, it is a different kind of rejection.
That's. I was thinking more so along the lines of things just not going your way.
Things didn't go my way.
Wasn't
Me, I'm like, I would have liked it to have been there.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But go ahead, explain. Can you elaborate more, though?
I mean, like, let's say, here's what I was initially thinking. It leans the other way.
Yeah, it's like, huh.
So what I was thinking of, like, you know, just, okay, rejection in the sense of you're going, maybe it's a certain opportunity, maybe it's just something you really want, and you just get the door shut on your face. Not so much of, like, you know, because I can't relate to what you was getting at right there. So
Thankfully, thank you, Jesus,
yeah.
for
So
that.
that's
I can somewhat relate.
that's where I was coming from. It's like, because I've had you know, opportunities come along the way, especially in this entrepreneurial walk. It's like, okay, this may be real dope. I'll take advantage of this, yada yada yada, and then you follow up, because I always follow up, and then boom, hard no, you know, and stuff like that. And Or like y'all see the show, people watching, people listening, y'all hear the show, like, oh man, they got a great people on there, yada. I mean, you're not taking into account the people who have said no to Unrehearsed or no to helping me out on the song.
Right.
Even though I already wrote the lyrics or the melody, everything is good. I just need, here's the script, follow it. I'll help you. You ain't got to do
You need
nothing
that,
else.
that voice actor, basically.
I've had many people tell me, people who I was just sure this person's going to say yes.
And they say no.
I can't imagine the situation. And they give a hard no, like a firm no, straight up, find someone else. Like, whoa. Okay, dang. But that's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
Rejection won't kill you. In that sense, like, obviously it won't kill you. It gives you character, toughens you up, makes you stronger.
It does, honestly.
Yeah.
I'd have to say I'm grateful. Like, just going back to like my personal story with my dad, I'd have to say that I'm really grateful because it just helped me, and being a middle child, it just helped me to like really just gain a lot of independence and a lot of like, oh, like you can't wait around for people to like save you or for people to help you out. Like
you learned how to
gotta
spend your own time.
That's
Yourself.
I'm a middle
yeah.
child too, and I can tell you that's facts.
Yeah, and I just had to learn how to value myself, and that like my value doesn't come from like, my dad not being there, because like I would associate that with like, oh, I'm not enough. Like that was the message that I received.
Yeah, you start thinking
as
it's your fault.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing wrong?
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but now I'm like, no, I'm like so grateful for that. So not grateful for it, but I can honestly say like the Lord has just changed my understanding of that. And I'm like, you know what? Like it was rough. It was rough upbringing, but like I'm grateful for that.
Made
But
you who
that
you are now.
it has, and it also has affected male relationships, which is like rough as well. But that's neither here nor there. That's a whole different podcast for that.
That's the girls only podcast.
That's the girls only.
literally.
The girls only podcast.
But I was gonna ask, like, so when it comes to rejection without talking about failure.
Not necessarily. No, those two aren't. In my experience, those two aren't the same.
They're different aspects of you?
Yeah, like, I mean, okay, so you said, ask that again. You said,
can you talk about rejection without talking about failure?
How so? Like,
because I feel that
because I was rejected, I failed, or
yeah, in that sense, because I feel like a lot of people associate rejection with failure.
Oh, okay. Like, oh, maybe it wasn't good enough, or something like that, depending on what it is. Okay, well, man, see, that's tough, because see. That's hard. It really, when you get in a situation like that, it all boils down to how, it boils down to a few things. I'll give a personal story, just whatever comes with it. So I had met with, y'all know I'm an artist, so I had met with an A&R for a pretty big label.
What's an A&R? Nobody knows.
An A&R, for people who don't know, A&R stands for Artist and Repertoire. So there's different jobs and duties for an A&R who worked for a record label. One of those things is artist development. So that's what Ryan Chris does. He does that for me. Just coaching, sending back a lot of critiques for the mixing of the track, for how I recorded, how my vocals, for beats, just anything that comes to mind, he sends that back. So that's artist development side of A&R. And then there's the talent scout side of A&R, where you're searching for new talent. So that's what this particular A&R was doing at the moment, was just searching for new undiscovered talent. So I had connected with this A&R for a pretty big label, and I felt I was ready for that next stage. The music was hitting, like I unlocked a new level, and the performance, because I got a chance to perform from him, the performance was great. He even said, yo, that was really dope. Like, I can tell you got your confidence, you have it packaged well. You can just tell, like, okay, he got it, he's good. And he was interested, so we exchanged contact information. And so following up, right? I followed up, nothing came from it. Didn't hear back. Followed up a couple of times. Well, maybe he didn't get the first email. I sent him another one. Hey, just in case you didn't get my email, blah, 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 blah. Sent another follow-up, I think, maybe. I know I followed up at least a second time. But nothing came from it. And at first I was like, dang. who knew what could have came from that if he just, read his email and stuff like that. Or maybe he did read the email and check some stuff out, listen to some of the stuff and was like, that's just not the artist I'm looking for. You know what I'm saying? Can't take it personal and stuff. So I don't look at that as, for my experience, I don't look at like, oh man, I failed. I mean, maybe I wasn't as ready as I thought I was. Sometimes it's you.
We don't like that.
Sometimes
Why would you say
you.
that?
You're the obstacle. Yourself.
Sometimes you could feel like you're ready, and you know what? Maybe you are close. Maybe you are right there. Maybe you need another 6 months to a year. Maybe, but not right now. And in hindsight, I was like, and it really just started hitting me like this past summer. In hindsight, I was like, yo, that effort was a really great effort. It was a really big leap, a really big jump in artistry. But I wasn't ready at that moment.
Wow.
Wasn't quite there.
Wow.
And so you got to swallow some pride to do that.
Yeah.
You got to swallow some pride to do that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because when you feel like you there, you locked in, you're really emotional,
but you checked yourself.
Yeah.
You checked yourself. Dog.
Yeah. And, sometimes you got to kind of go through the phase, let a little bit of time pass by, and then you'll be able to see it clear. So all that to say, that doesn't feel like failure. In the moment, though, it could feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm failing. Is this worth it? And you just kind of go through those whole motions of things.
Yeah, through the whole, spiral,
but
through the rabbit hole.
That rejection, it goes to response, how you handle it. If you handle it right, it launches you forward. Because I could have been like, man, bruh, tripping, dog. I know I'm dope. I know I'm good. I do all this work. You know what I'm saying? I know what I got. I know what I can bring to the table.
I know I'm the best.
Right. I know I got it, bro. He playing,
I'm
bro.
number one.
He don't know what he doing.
I'm the new Mr. Worldwide.
Right. And then next to, you miss an opportunity to grow. And you got to be careful. Because you can get locked into a particular mindset. So you kind of have to check yourself.
No, that's so good.
You know what I'm saying? At first I was like, I was disappointed. I was down. I ain't gonna lie. But I always have this keep kind of mindset. So I just kind of kept going. And then over time I kind of started to realize, and then now I'm giving it another shot, give it another go. There's, stuff happening behind the scenes. Right. Who knows how I look 6 months from the day of us recording this right now. But
dang, that's good.
Yeah, I don't really. You got to handle it right. Sometimes maybe that rejection is a bit of failure, but you kind of need that failure.
Yeah, rejection is a launch pad.
Right. Sometimes you need that.
I like
it
that
really is.
Launch pad.
If you handle it right, though.
Yeah.
Handle it right, though.
Yeah.
If matter of fact, if you handle it right, it launches you forward. If you handle it wrong, it launches you backwards.
Ooh, that's so true.
It's all in your response. So that's
nowhere.
That's
stationary.
Right. That's how I feel about it. Like. You need that. If you're really trying to grow, you kind of need to be told no at times. You need to be told, you're doing great, but you're not there yet. Not it. You need to do this better, or you kind of need that. You'll understand it later, but you need that.
That's so good. Honestly,
That's
I feel
fire.
like it is. I feel that rejection has really helped shaped me as a person and just with my character as well, because I'm the person that asks a lot of questions because I personally don't like to fail. Personally, I'm like, it's not. I'm right.
Nobody does.
I don't like failure, but I also would say that I want to give 100% so that I don't have to what am I trying to say? I want to give 100% in general, in everything that I do. And so I feel like a lot of times, when it comes to rejection, if you don't get that criticism, or you obviously there's a certain way to not so much reject people, but there's a certain way to talk to people. Obviously,
it's a certain way to critique someone.
Talk to me nice, and so but when it comes to rejection specifically, I'm I realize that me as a person, I'm okay, I don't want to get rejected, so let me ask as many questions as I need to, and let me ask you for constructive criticism, so that it doesn't feel I don't feel rejection. Because it's different. Because sometimes people could just straight up say no, and you're like, what's going on here? They don't give any answers, any reason. So you're just lost. And it's just dang, you're just kind of sitting and you have to go over it with yourself in your own mind.
Figure it out yourself.
Yeah. And you're I don't see what I'm doing wrong.
Right.
And so, but when people they may say no, but then they give you reason, I'm that's all the more reason to really look into those things and be okay, like, because like you said, it takes you swallowing your pride and being like,
You got to be ready for it.
like you thought you was like, yes, like I got this, but you're like, but I did this differently. Like I feel like I already worked on these things, but it's like you just didn't get it. Like you just didn't hit the mark, and that's okay.
And
like,
you know what? Maybe you actually did work on it, but these things take time.
yeah.
You know, like I asked Ricky, I had asked Mo, and then I had asked Ryan, just from an artistic perspective for my music. Give me your honest thoughts. Obviously, I know they support, but like, give me your honest thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think I need to focus on? I have my own analysis of myself, but y'all give me y'all thing. And it was funny. We all three of us did three separate analysis.
Right.
All three of us landed on the same thing.
Wow, come
That's
on.
On the
crazy.
same thing. And so that constructive criticism is great. You gotta have you have to. I have learned. I crave constructive criticism.
Same.
But
I'm
you
like,
got to be
please.
mindful of, at the same time, of who you allow critique.
Correct.
You know what I'm
Talk
saying?
about that.
You got to be mindful because
You got to know the person who's gonna give it right.
right that, and you also want to go to people that genuinely know what they're talking about.
Right.
know what they're talking about, and that also genuinely love you.
That too, and just love and just have respect for what you do. I'll never forget one of the best pieces of advice, and this is going to sound so simplistic to you guys. One of the best pieces of advice someone gave to me. It was someone when I toured a little bit. It was the manager of Danny Boy. Danny Boy, for those that may not know, he did records with Tupac. I believe he was on Death Row. I Ain't Mad at Ya. That's the Tupac song. Danny Boy was on there. And so I toured with him, right? And his manager, it was my last stop. There were still other stops of the tour that I had to go on, but I was completing my last show. And everyone, they loved me there. They was like, oh, man, we wish you can keep coming, you know, keep doing your thing. And I said, I appreciate it, but I got to get back. We got work to do back home and stuff like that. And his manager was like, Can I give you some advice, some constructive criticism? I said, I want to hear it all. And he was like, you go to the gym? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, work on cardio.
Oh.
And that might sound like super simplistic. You're like, oh, you know, to work on cardio.
But that's
doesn't.
important, bro.
But
That's super important.
Now, mind you, I've always loved running, and I was doing cardio, but I was like, okay, maybe I need to tweak something.
Right.
And he was like, you know, I say that because when you perform, you naturally bring a lot of energy, but your lungs can't keep up. Now, for people that don't know, and I don't think he knew, I don't think I told him, for people that don't know, I'm asthmatic. So I got it extra bad. I need all the air I can get. So sometimes it's like, you know what I mean? Because it's like I'm hyped, so I need a lot of oxygen because I'm energetic, and then plus there's asthma, and so. But that was like, yo, I needed to hear that, and so now I tweak my workouts and stuff like that, and so now when I perform, it's not as much huffing and puffing as was there before. Little things like that, bro.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Hey, bro. Small thing leads to big things, bro.
Small
for
things,
real.
small
Bro.
changes lead to big results.
Bro.
Big results.
That's what I tell my church all the time, bro. Like, stop focusing on the big stuff, bro. Do the small things,
Exactly.
because once you have a bro,
Exactly.
you can go to bigger things.
Yes.
Exactly. And that foundation is important. It's glad that you say that,
Dude,
because
yeah.
I've seen examples of people with people in just situations with great foundations, and I've seen people in situations with not great foundations. The thing is, whatever you lay in your foundation, you're just going to keep building on that. So
Yeah.
if you have shaky
You're stacking.
foundation,
Yeah.
So if your foundation ain't Jesus, that's what I was feeling.
Exactly.
It's gonna, when the wind comes and the storm comes, your house is gonna be shattered in pieces.
full country mode,
Man.
Alabama,
Alabama.
straight Bible Belt.
So what are you founded on?
But that's facts. If your foundation, and if all aspects of your foundation ain't what it's supposed to be,
Yeah.
you're going to keep building on that. Next, you know, and the things that you're supposed to be more advanced stuff,
Right.
it's going to be rocky.
Come on, and sometimes, your biggest moments of rejection is because your foundation is
Shaky,
Exactly.
yeah.
not your foundation. was
Exactly.
Yeah, stable.
Exactly.
And sometimes the scary part is that sometimes you just don't even know that. So I guess the next
Yeah.
question would be, how do you, let's say that my foundation is stable right now. It's like,
Okay.
what steps can I take? or what can I do to begin to notice? Like, does it just come with a lot of self-reflection? Does it
like
just
notice areas of improvement?
like
or?
if it's like, yeah, like if I like, let's say that I'm like, I don't know, let's say that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sing, and like, I don't know, I don't have a good analogy for it, to be honest.
But I get what you're getting at.
Okay.
Like so this is with the assumption you have a solid foundation to start, and you just want to like can you find ways to improve it?
No, I'm saying like, what if you don't have a solid foundation?
Oh, if you don't have
like,
it.
let's say that you're in rooms with like
bet.
important people,
Bet.
and you're like, dang, like, you know, I want to stay, but then you don't even realize like, dang, my foundation is not it.
Bet I got you.
Okay.
So this is just like simple stuff, right? So first and foremost, and I'm able to at least say a little bit of it because, you know, getting to where I am now, I've had to do that, and it's an ongoing thing. It's an ongoing thing. So first and foremost, you have to have a true desire in your heart and mind to want to better that, whatever your foundation
To better
is.
yourself.
To better yourself, to better your foundation. And you have to understand what that could possibly mean. That could possibly mean what you've been doing. It may have worked up to this point, but it's not sustainable.
Dang, come on.
It's shaking. It's shaky.
Yeah.
Right. It was probably good enough to get you to where you are now, but now you've reached the checkpoint. Something's got to change.
Yeah. You need to reinforce it or switch it out with something else.
Get you some better material or something.
Yeah.
And there's that. You also have to have a mindset. You got to know how to put it's kind of really a humble mindset. You have to put your pride aside always and understand that you easily, without you realizing it, can be the problem and probably have been the problem at some point. So it's kind of counter to our nature. When we tell our stories, we always tell it from a protagonist point of view and not from, this is what we did to contribute to whatever bad it could have been. So it starts with just having that true desire to want to know that, because that means you got to look at the good and bad of everything of yourself.
Yeah, that's hard.
And you have to be able to acknowledge that and want to
Change
fix
it. Yeah.
and change it. And then from there, it's just ongoing, just discovering ways. I do a lot of reflective writing and journaling just to kind of flesh out whatever's going through my head and what's going through my heart. And then not only do I write it, I need to do this more, what I'm about to say, but read it over time. Just read it a little bit. Go back in time and read it, see how far you've come, or just kind of read what you just
See the kind of person you were.
Yeah, see what kind
point.
of person you were, see what kind of person you are.
Right. And sometimes that's really good, because sometimes you're like, oh, like I'm kind of talking about the same thing here again. So it's just like, oop, you need to grow in that area.
Yeah, like
because that ain't changed.
Right. Why am I still making the same mistakes? Why are we those kind of things? And it's just my belief in Christ. I mean, you're trying to have our foundation in him.
Right.
So
like I said, just kidding.
lining up myself up with him, that's like literally the highest standard you can find. So
That's true.
do your best to line up with him. And then practical stuff, it's just knowing that this one sucks, because this requires putting your pride down and just kind of admitting weakness. Just understanding that you ain't got all the answers. You don't have all the experience. Maybe who you're around ain't got all the answers or the experience. There's some things you can learn from other people's mistakes. You can learn a lot from other people's mistakes.
Man.
But then there's some things you just got to go and get your hands dirty.
Yeah.
And so you got to always have I've learned it's very important to have a mindset of I can be wrong. And probably more
all
often.
the women just logged off. All the women were like, and we're gone. We're never
the viewership
wrong.
just
Escape.
went
Right.
down.
Escape.
Right. Like, I can be wrong, and because I don't want to be wrong and I want to be good, it could cause me to overlook moments where I am wrong because my intentions are try to be good. So it's a lot of looking inward is what I'm saying, because that foundation, it starts with yourself, your mindset, and your goals and beliefs, and you have to check yourself. And then if you have some great people around you,
They'll check
ask
you.
them.
So, I was like, they will check you.
They'll
for
check
you.
you.
Check you. Yeah.
They'll check you, and then even ask them. Like how I said, I asked Mo and I asked Ryan,
What y'all think?
What do y'all honestly think? You know, and I make jokes about this, but I'm serious when I say I'm looking, and I'm speaking from a artistic creative perspective. I'm looking for someone to say I'm trash. I want to hear that. I'm craving that, with the assumption they're going to say it's not good and here's why.
Yeah.
Like, don't just say, oh, this is bad. but like tell me it's trash.
Is that my phone? Yeah. That's
Yeah.
my phone. I hope that didn't cancel the recording.
You want
wanna
to
check?
Yeah, I want to go check.
You said, is that my phone? I'm like, what is he hearing?
It stopped.
It's like so hot.
No, we still good.
Okay, cool. It would suck if we weren't.
My fault.
Good.
Technical stuff.
But yeah, that's, you know, if you have a good
It's okay.
if you have a good circle of people, then you can ask them, and then they'll be real with you. If they really love you, they're gonna give you that constructive criticism. You know.
Again, it does go back to who you go to. And then also when you experience rejection, I feel that, again, it is an inward reflection, but just asking yourself, like, okay, first of all, who is this person? Like, who are they to me? And then, and then after that, it's like, okay, who are they to me and what are their intentions? Because it's like, once you answer those questions, like, if it's some rando, you know, who doesn't know you at all and just came up to you and said something rude, and we're like, oh, like, you know, if they were like, oh, I think your music trash, it's like, I don't even know who you are.
Like some,
you know,
some troll on the internet.
Yeah, like,
joint.
right. People
Yeah.
be getting mightily bold on the
You got to
internet.
know what to pay attention to.
Yeah.
So I speak with that assumption. It's like, you know, trying to, like, you got to know what to pay attention to,
Yeah.
type of thing. But yeah, and also this another thing. I noticed it's pointing downward.
Oh, is it? Oh, what the freak? Oh, my fault.
Oh, what the freak?
What the freak? Why'd you move it, Deshaun?
My fault. Telekinesis, you dig?
Telekinesis.
Heck yeah.
I actually got a question for you about Deshaun. I want you to finish what you were saying.
So what I was gonna say was also like rejection, as we said, it's not the end of the world. Maybe like, because when I shared my story of rejection, I was searching for a good thing and for the right thing, but maybe that version that I came across wasn't the one that's meant for me. Or maybe it'll come back in a better form. So, you know, a closed door is not always bad. I don't look at it as a bad thing. If God has it for you, then that door is going to be open.
Right, what's for you is for you.
Yeah,
Talk about
or
that.
maybe it's for you. You just kind of have to go do a little bit more living, and then come back, and now you a little bit more ready to experience what's on the other side of that door. But you were going to ask, Ricky?
Are you finished?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Something that earlier that Mo was talking about with rejection. When you were talking, this question popped up in my head. It's like, do you perceive fear of failure as a type of rejection?
Is this a question to the floor or just to Mo?
No, this is to the floor. To the
Okay.
floor. It's like,
So do you receive
Like,
Senor, do you? No, I'm fine.
So do we fear
do you think the fear of
Failure.
is a form of rejection?
Yeah.
or just that fear of rejection, fear of failure? Does that kind of blend type of thing, or fear of
Fear of
failure
failure.
or form of reject?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to better understand the question so I can answer it better.
Let me see. I don't know how else I could phrase it
So like, if somebody fears failure, would you associate that with?
as rejection
Or like,
or
well, here's just what's coming off the top. Like, if you fear failure, I mean, if you truly fear failure, you're not gonna put yourself in position to get rejected because you kind of fear that rejection.
So then, is rejection really a fear of failure?
It could be a fear of
oh my lord. I was like, what?
if you fear being rejected, it could possibly be, depending on what it is, case by case basis. It could possibly.
Or do you guys see it as rejecting yourself?
Wow.
From
Now we
being
gotta get
rejected.
into it. Look.
Yeah, because that's how I was seeing it. Is okay. Let's say I'm being fearful of failure, right? So am I rejecting myself from being rejected?
Like you're kind of
Yeah,
okay.
and
But
in
then
that aspect. But then my original, and then I can go back to my original questions. Like, is that a form or an aspect of rejection in your opinion?
No, I would say no, because
No?
I do
Okay.
feel like the fear of failure is different from the fear of rejection. Because I feel like fear of failure is more of like fear of failure is more that I can't do it, and it's more of a self-reflection.
Right.
But then fear of rejection is more of like other people.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't associate, like, I can see how you, like, it could be associated.
Mhm.
But when it comes to the fear of rejection, that's more of like, oh, I'm scared that people aren't going to
People.
accept me. But when the fear of failure, it's like, I'm scared that I actually can't do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
but there are different levels to it. Like,
Yeah.
there's a
Levels to
fear of rejection. You know, there's the fear, like the rejection of others, the rejection of self.
Right.
Man, rejection of self.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, so then am I rejecting myself then?
By not trying.
Yeah.
I don't think you're rejecting yourself by not
If
trying.
you-
By
if-
not trying.
By being fear.
It's quite possible.
Yeah.
That you're rejecting yourself.
Because like this, if I spoke on it on season 1 about the window of opportunity that I believe in, right? Pretty much, and I can't remember which episode we did it on, but it was pretty much about like how I believe I had a window of time to make a choice to want to decide to do music, and after a while that window of time will have closed, and I would have missed that spark that was there. So all of that to say, if you have the desire to want to do something, maybe you don't have much belief, but you just something tugging at you, and assuming this is all a good thing and all of that kind of stuff, but you hold yourself back, in a sense, you kind of are rejecting yourself,
yeah.
because you're not allowing yourself. You're stopping. What is rejecting? I'm stopping you from
You're
doing
stopping,
something.
yeah.
So if you believe that, or if you desire to do something for whatever reason, you psych yourself out. You for that moment at least, you kind of rejected whatever opportunity
Right.
was there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that, at least that's how I perceive. That's how I think about it.
Okay.
Like my mindset is like, I don't want years to go by and I'm in the latter half of my life and I look back at moments when I'm young and be like, dang, I didn't try. Even the ideas that, someone
You had,
dare to do,
yeah.
it's like, I want to at least
Try it.
because it's a certain, even if you try and it was just a straight dumpster fire, you can rest your head at night knowing, well, I tried that.
Yeah, yeah.
I already did that.
Straight
Yeah.
straight
Didn't work.
garbo.
Okay.
It didn't pan out,
But I'm thinking more of along the lines like rejection being like, I don't accept you.
like someone saying I don't accept you.
Yeah. Or just like almost like
Or
you
you
don't
saying
accept
to yourself.
Yeah, both.
So what does not
Both.
accepting
was-
yourself look like then?
Right.
Drops the mic. I was like, don't come for me. Just kidding. So what does not accepting yourself look like?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would
Rejecting
fall into
yourself.
rejection.
Yeah, rejecting yourself.
Like what is not accepting yourself? Like what's an example of that?
Um.
It ain't even got to be crazy. It could be something simple.
Okay, it's something simple. Okay, so I feel like a lot of women deal with self-image. So, for example, like a lot of women don't think that they're beautiful. And so when somebody comes to compliment them, they're like, oh, like, you're beautiful. Like, they'll just be like, no, I'm not. Or they'll be like, please don't say that to me.
Question.
Tell me how
I'm
you
a-
feel
I'm
about
I'm
this.
a guy, so it's gonna sound like a guy asking this, but you said something. It's like a lot of women don't feel like they're beautiful.
Okay.
Is that a reason why many wear makeup, or?
Look, don't come for me. No, that's not the reason why.
Okay.
So yes and no, because like
Okay.
it just depends. It's a case by case
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Some people really get into makeup and they love it, not because it's a trend, but because they're
It's an
like they're
art.
artists.
It's an art.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an art
It's
form.
an art, but then there are other women where they do, because society, the way that the society,
The
the
way
Western
how-
world,
yeah,
really,
the culture
the
is-
Western world is just very much like, oh, if your face ain't beat, you hurt. So it's like you either beat or you hurt. Which one? And so all that to say like that, some women do like almost, they wear cover up to cover up. So it's
Oh.
like, I know.
Art.
So yeah, so that probably is a majority of women, but like, will we really admit it or say something? Like, probably not.
Can I add to that?
No, you can minus to that.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. No, because in my perspective, this is I don't know if you also have seen this, but I saw as makeup as an enhancement,
Mm-hmm.
never just to, go crazy with it.
Mm-hmm.
Or like basically, let's say you have some great features and you want to enhance them. That's how I feel makeup it does the job.
But are we talking about people who cake up their face, or we're talking about people who do simple stuff?
Like simple stuff.
Well, simple stuff.
Yeah, simple
Okay.
stuff. Yeah, that's
Clarifying.
that's what I mean.
Okay.
Not caking up. No.
Okay.
That's a.
Because that's the first thing that came to my head. Because I'm like, that's a lot of enhancing.
No. Yeah, no. I meant in simple like terms. Yeah.
Basics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if you also saw makeup as that, because I've always seen it as that and in art.
I'll keep it a buck with you. I ain't never thought of it.
Damn.
I mean, I come from it's a lot of guys where I come from. You know, I got all I have. Mom's the only lady in the house, and even then, she's not like a makeup person. Like that. And bunch of guy cousins, bunch of uncles. It's just so that's why I asked, because I ain't never thought of that. You know,
That's crazy, because I don't have any siblings, so I'm an only child, and it's just me and my mom's. But like you're saying, my mom's is also not like super heavy on the makeup, but you know, she'll do her little here and there, small enhancements. And that's how I always saw it. That in an art form.
Dang.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know how we got over to there.
Yeah, I don't know.
We were talking about
right?
rejection.
Rejection.
Yeah, no,
Rejection.
seriously.
Makeup.
It was your question.
I know.
Literally just rejection, makeup. We're like, whoa, what's happening?
Yeah. But oh man, how we doing on time? I think we straight.
We straight?
I think we
I think
straight,
we
man.
good.
Look,
We in
man.
here?
So I guess closing thoughts. Rejection will not kill you.
Rejection is a launch pad.
It's depending on how you respond to it.
Yeah,
A lot of it is just
How you
yeah. If you're serious about this growth, you're gonna get hit with rejection along the way. That's unavoidable.
Like, regardless, whether you're growing or not, welcome to the real world.
Yeah, but how you handle that could make you honestly, how you respond to stuff like that can put you ahead of people.
It can be. It can.
Put you ahead of the game. But yeah, it's been another episode where I heard everyone supporting, liking, commenting, sharing.
Come
all of
on.
that.
All of
worldwide.
that.
All of
I was
that.
like, make sure that y'all, if y'all haven't listened, listen to the singles. Make sure you following the music as well, y'all.
yeah.
Don't be sleeping
Follow,
on
yeah.
transparency as a whole. Don't be
Deshaun
sleeping.
Forrest.
So I say that, like, we got the singles coming out, the music videos coming out, y'all, the album. There's
album.
stuff
behind the
happening.
scenes.
All of that stuff is probably going to be out by the time the second season.
Come on. And then the merch. Come on. There's a sweater with his face on it, guys,
Link in
on the
bio.
back.
Bro,
I was
I
like,
need-
so if you
bro,
buy
I
the
need that,
merch,
yeah.
tag us, literally. Tag
real.
us,
Tag
take
us.
a picture.
Take a
I'm like,
picture.
buy merch for
Yeah.
family, because that's what I'm doing. We're going to take family
Adam,
photos. Buy the
he'll
merch.
repost you.
Yeah.
For surely, I for
Okay.
sure
Yeah, he
will.
will.
Hit the
that's-
links in the bio for everything.
Lincoln.
Follow Mo.
Yeah.
Follow Mafioso.
And last thing
Follow
last,
them. Yeah.
you know,
What's up?
if your foundation isn't on Jesus,
Fact, she spit.
you are right. Turn to the Lord. Now is the time.
Now is the time.
Amen.
And
Bye,
now is
love
the
y'all,
time
damn.
for us to skedaddle.
Damn,
Peace.
you really hit your auntie mode right there. Auntie. Not auntie.
Alabama
Auntie. Auntie.